my god, we just got the PlayStation State of Play specifically dedicated to Borderlands 4. And wow. Like I don't know. I liked a lot of what I saw. There's some stuff I have some questions about, stuff I'm a little bit worried about. This is going to be completely unscripted. I literally just watched the State of Play with many of you out there that were watching it all at the same time. And I watched it back a little bit a few times, but I'm gonna break it down as best I can, but I'm gonna go through it and just kind of see it all there with you. And there I was dying laughing because there was a part where there was a couple parts where they directly addressed some major complaints over the time of Borderlands 3. And one of them was they were just talking about how they're saying how they completely overhauled the looting and heard how they wanted to make legendaries feel great when you see one again and things like that. And it was just hilarious to me because I was like, only Borderlands fans can get hyped over the fact that you see a red chest opening and there's 3 greens, a blue, and a purple. Like, it was just so funny to me because everybody, I get it. Like, Borderlands 3, legendary's too common. That was a problem, and a lot of that problem was due to the fact that a lot of legendaries weren't even good, so it was just like a legendary purely because they made it that way and not actually in execution was it anywhere close to a legendary. Something else they addressed that I want to mention here is that they talk about the story a little bit and just give you the premise of what's going on, and I definitely think they addressed another large complaint that Borderlands 3 faced, which is in the story, a lot of people were saying, oh, it feels like I wasn't even needed in this story, like I wasn't even part of it, I was just a character along for the ride. They definitely addressed it, at least it seems on the surface from what they're talking about here, by saying how the planet was unveiled essentially when all of us crashed into it, when we got there, and it disrupted the order of what's going on here. Basically is allowing everybody to feel like this spark of rebellion, and you're kind of the lead for that. So I do feel like it almost reminds me of a Dragonborn kind of thing going on here, where it's like you're the dude that is, you're the dude that showed up and caused this havoc. What are you going to do with it now? So I definitely think they're addressing some of the needs very directly that Borderlands 3 faced. Another huge thing they addressed, again, I'm taking all the best of it and just putting it right up front. I'm sorry, this is unscripted again. And if you want, there's going to be some other breakdowns, obviously. There's going to be other people. I recommend watching Killer 6 and Epic NNG and Jolts Dude and Moxie. I recommend watching all them for breakdowns as well. But another major thing that Borderlands fans have been asking for so long, to be able to have some way to rerun bosses and missions and things without save quitting or rewriting files so that you can replay a mission to try and get that mission reward just right. There is now, as they said, some kind of, I don't know what it is, they didn't show, but they said there's something with Moxie. There is some kind of dome or whatever that you go into, and it allows you to re-roll missions, restart the campaign, re-roll bosses. That is amazing. Huge thing right there for them to address for the Borderlands community. That is amazingly huge that they just, and it's like they just kind of like dropped it like right at the end. They were just like, yeah, by the way, you can do this. And I'm just like, wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm so excited, but there are some things I have questions for. I just wanted to get all the big things out of the way. These are the big takeaways, at least from me. These are the big takeaways. A worry I definitely have is the maps, the worlds. They were driving these vehicles through this winterized map, and it just really looked large and like there was nothing going on. So it's that kind of stuff is a worry for me, and it was a worry for me before this. After seeing it, it's still a worry for me. So I guess that worry has risen a little bit for me. Something I noticed is in the menu, they're showing off skill trees. It's not, it looked, first of all, if you look at one action skill they're on, and then this is a skill tree under this one action skill. They switch action skills, there is a whole nother skill tree. In Borderlands 3, it's like one action skill and like a thin little branch of things, and then you can kind of go into each one and get what you need from all 3 or 4 in Borderlands 3 of those skill trees. You can pick perks from each of those branches. I don't know how it's gonna work in this because these are entire skill trees under one action skill. So I'm almost wondering if when you're picking perks you pick an action skill and then you're picking perks under that. I wonder if you can actually even swap to another skill tree and pick perks, or if it locks you with that one skill tree with that action skill. I don't know. I'm really, really curious to see how this goes because this branches within that action skills skill tree, but there are 3 entire skill trees for one character. That's a lot. That is a lot. Now on top of that, they have an SDU tab in your menu. That must mean you can upgrade your SDUs on the fly. There's customization tab in the menu, so you're going to be able to customize your character again on the fly. All awesome stuff. Something that I am really unsure of how I feel is the UI, the HUD, I should say. You know, the health bar, the shield, the rank in the corner, the weapon wheel thing in the corner. Like, let me know what you guys think of it, because honestly, I'm still very unopinionated on it. Like, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. I'm not sitting here being like, I love it. It's definitely different for Borderlands. It just feels very slim, very toned down, but still, I don't know, it's different. And what do you guys think of Echo 4? It's like a drone now. I don't know if that has any real gameplay implications or anything whatsoever, but no more, you know, like tablet Echo thing that you hold in your hand that looks like a 90s or 70s recorder kind of thing. It's a drone now. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know. Something else I know people were worried about, and I don't know, again, how I feel about this, is the tone of the game. Is the comedy still gonna be there? It seemed very grounded, and Randy Pitchford himself said that they're, you know, pushing back to like a somewhat more grounded feel for this game, and it did. The tone of this 20-minute deep dive felt more grounded, more low-key, more, I don't know, less in your face and Borderlands-y, if for lack of better words. It just didn't jump out like a Borderlands game typically does, with the people screaming at you and stuff. There was that one part where this like creature named Tim came out and you fought him, a named enemy. Was kind of, I know it's weird, but excited to see that. Man, there are things I'm worried about, but just thinking about, like, I saw the game, I saw the gameplay, I saw the guns, and speaking of guns, there's 2 new companies, and some companies left out. Atlas, we don't have Atlas in this game. We got one called Daedalus. I don't know, I'm just gonna call it Deadless, and Order. Those are 2 new gun companies for Borderlands, never seen before. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I mean, the possibilities of 2 new gun companies is really awesome, because what are their, as Gearbox likes to call them, loyalties? What are their loyalties? And what loyalties are is the things that these gun companies are known for. Like, you know, Vladoff has that alternate fire mode thing where like the barrel flips and it's a grenade launcher, and they're also known for their high fire rate, low accuracy. So it's like, what are these new companies' loyalties? That's something really exciting to get to find out when we get the game, of course, in our hands. I can't wait. Anyways, something else I noticed in here was they definitely changed up how some of the characters look, whether that's just customization within the game, which more than likely it is, because they didn't look crazy different. It just looked like kind of skins and heads were different kind of thing. But if you look here where they're all four standing together, and then look at the image of where they all four stood together in the original showing, the big dude, he looks different. He has way different coloring and stuff to him. Maybe even his arm looks a little different. The Rafa, they just revealed his name as of this state of play. I almost said state of decay. State of play, they changed his head at least, and it looks like his coat and stuff is brighter color. Could be wrong, I don't know. But he definitely looks different, and this could all just be customization stuff that you can do within game, and they're really trying to showcase that. But I also think they changed how some of them looked because of the complaints, especially around Rafa. I think a lot of people were focusing on him and complaining about, like, this dude looks like somebody that you just see hanging around Sanctuary. That's what a lot of people were saying, and now he has this helmet that makes him look like straight out of Destiny. Something else they mentioned is the replacement of grenades. Not necessarily the replacement of just like straight up there aren't grenades in the game, but it's almost like a slot for just almost like explosive big gun kind of thing. They basically said that's where your rocket launchers are going to go. It could be grenades. They showed like this heavy cannon turret thing that was being used in gameplay, and saying that's its own slot. That's not a weapon slot. That's its own thing. And then on top of that, there was also something else, some other piece of equipment that you can carry now. It looks like it's in the bottom left of the UI, and it's like a syringe kind of thing, and basically you use that to heal yourself, but you can also imbue that with different buffs like movement speed or damage. And then if you look at the map, nothing super huge to take away here, but there are some symbols that you can see on the map. One looks maybe like a little Borderlands symbol when you zoom down on it. There's a question mark. There's like just a generic waypoint thing. There's some kind of triangle looking icon. And also just hovering through, you can see that they kind of hover over what looks like it highlights the regions that you're in. And so I wonder if this is what Randy Pitchford means by seamless world, not open world, is there's regions you can travel between, but in between them, which I think a lot of people have already hypothesized, including myself, is there'll be these hallways between regions, which are kind of like loading hallways where it's like as you go through it, the next region's loading in for you. And then there's also still fast travel stations, which you can also use to get across the map faster. Although I do wonder about that, because it seems like they really, really want you to be traversing through the open map. The way they have things going here, you can just kind of at the blink of an eye spawn your vehicle before you. There are these kind of Apex Legends like things that you can take where you just kind of like zip line up to like a high point in the sky, and then you just glide off into the distance, and you can just from the sky like zip open your friggin' vehicle and just hop in and just ride away, just crash land on the ground and ride away. So it just really seems like they created a lot of ways to quickly traverse through a big map, and it makes me wonder why. And I wonder how many fast travel points there are throughout the map. Honestly, the thing I care the most about, or maybe not, I don't know actually, because I was gonna say the thing I care most about is having those fast travel points right there next to the named enemies that we're gonna be farming, but I wonder if that's even gonna matter, because allegedly there's some kind of Moxie place that we can go to just farm the named enemies and keep reloading them. I wonder how that is all gonna work. I cannot wait to find out more, which they said they'll be showing more at their first hands-on gameplay event in June. So we'll be waiting about 2 months to find out what else is in Borderlands 4, what else they can show to us. And after that, it's only 3 months until Borderlands 4 is out, which is just crazy, absolutely crazy. The last thing I'll talk about here for this video, and then I'm gonna spend my weekend grinding away notes and watching this video over and over again and just trying to get and take away as much as I can for you guys for another video. The last thing I'll say here is that Rafa looked sick in this video, in this deep dive. He just looked so cool. The way you could just activate this action skill and get these dual blades, and it kicked you into third person, and then you could just do some crazy spin move and some other attacks while you got him out. I wonder if it's a time gated thing, or like you can only do certain moves and then it just kind of kicks you out after you like attack once or something. I wonder how that works exactly with those dual blades. And then we got to look at Vex, which is the new siren for Borderlands 4, and she looks like the person that's going to be the one with like the pets and, you know, like things to summon to help fight with you kind of thing, because she can summon what looked like kind of like a spectral almost of herself with a scythe, and then that can, you know, kill things. And then what they mainly showed off was her summoning a tiger to fight with you. So 2 of her 3 action skills are summons. They made it sound like maybe one of them is just like a self buff and it's not a summon. I don't know. I'm curious if they went a different route with one of them and 2 of them are more relatively similar, or maybe that one with the scythe and the tiger are part of the same action skill with different augment. I don't know. I think those were 2 different ones. Could be wrong. I am dying to find out more about Rafa because they only really talked at all about him with the dual blades. They did not talk about the dual guns, which is more of what I'm interested in, because I am like, Rafa is at the top of my list of like characters I want to play as personally, even though we don't know much about the other 2 either. So we still have ways to go before anyone's deciding who they want to play as, really. But both aesthetically and in gameplay, he's definitely my front runner personally. But obviously, again, it's way too early to be deciding who you actually want to play as, who you'll be playing as day 1 when it launches, right? So that's pretty much everything I have to say here. You could see a little bit into their skill trees, but it's nothing to write home about. It's nothing worth mentioning here. We can discuss that more later down the line when we can really read the skill trees. But with that, I leave it to you guys. If you came through, thank you so much, because I know this video doesn't really have a ton in the way of what you probably didn't already know, but I just love talking with the community and getting an idea of what you guys think. Just discussing this stuff with you guys is always awesome. So if you stayed to this point, you're a freaking legend. I appreciate the heck out of you, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I'll be grinding out over the weekend, working hard on a new video that hopefully gets a lot of detail in it and hopefully can teach you guys some things that maybe you didn't catch on your own. A little bit of a PS, because I actually didn't make some Borderlands 4 videos that maybe I should have. I wasn't really sure. It was just such small details that they really would have been very short videos for me to make anything on it, which was, the first one was at the Switch 2 Direct, and that was them just, it was literally just people driving vehicles. But I did see, and I forget who, and I super apologize to whoever it is that I forgot hypothesized this. They think that the different vehicles you see them driving in this short little video that was shown at the Switch 2 Direct of Borderlands 4, it's each vehicle is each Vault Hunter's personal vehicle. So it's whatever one you're seeing, like that red one with the wings, that might be a specific Vault Hunter's vehicle that they spawn, while somebody else, if you play as them, gets a different looking vehicle to spawn. Who knows? Plus this customization and things, so maybe you can customize those as well to make them all look different. But then also the huge news that I did not make a video on, because I just figured I'd attach it to this, is the release date has been moved for Borderlands 4, and not in a bad way, or hopefully not in a bad way. It was moved from September 23rd of this year to September 12th of this year. It was moved a week up, and not only that, but it was moved from a Tuesday to a Friday. So now, hopefully, you'll all have plenty of time without really needing to take too many days off to play Borderlands 4 and just really dive into the game. You'll have the whole weekend to just dive into the game, and it comes out about a week early. That is amazing. I am just so excited. Anyways, with that, let me know what you guys think of this deep dive from the PlayStation State of Play of Borderlands 4. I'm so excited to hear what all of you think, whether you didn't like what you saw, whether you're worried about what you saw, whether you loved what you saw. Let me hear it down below, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace out.